if it was somebody else, a man, let's say a white man, that accomplished so much in his life, and now he's the leader of WTO, you think they would say the same thing? A grandfather is now WTO's leader. Really? I am willing to bet they will not say that. Hello fam, welcome back to the African Diaspora News channel. I am Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala bringing you this report. Today's report is about Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. You know, she just became the leader for WTO, a World Trade Organization, and she was making news. Obviously, that's a huge role, and that's a big deal for Nigerians and Africans and Black people in general. And guess who decided to run a story on Dr. Ngozi, which, okay, the article was about her, but the title is so ridiculous. Like, we were wondering, what the hell is this? Why are you announcing to the world, to your subscribers, to your readers, to your viewers? Why would you want to announce this powerful woman like this? Guess what the headline said? No nonsense Nigerian woman to be named boss in double first for WTO. That's what they wrote on Twitter. What the actual hell? No nonsense Nigerian woman. That's how they decided to write their headline for their viewers and readers. When this powerful woman got into that place, imagine how many people she had to compete with to actually be the one to be in that leadership role right now. She is head of that organization as of now, worldwide. That's a huge deal, huge accomplishment. And Reuters decide to publish a story like no nonsense Nigerian woman to be named boss. That's how you're supposed to announce a woman that accomplished what she has accomplished. Let me tell you what she was able to accomplish. She was finance minister of Nigeria. She was coordinating minister for the economy. She was a Nigerian minister of foreign affairs. She has 25-year career at the World Bank in Washington, D.C. She was also a member of the Commission on Effective Development Cooperation with Africa. She also strengthened the country's public financial systems and stimulating the housing sector with the establishment of the Mortgage Refinance Corporation. She was the leader of National Bureau of Statistics. And it goes on, by the way. It doesn't even stop there. She did a lot of things. And this is how they decided to celebrate her. This is how they decided to welcome her. And frankly, this is ridiculous. This is something we all need to call out. And people made so much noise, they changed it up and they said, sorry for, let me read for you what they said. They said, correction. Former Nigerian Finance Minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is set to make history as the head of the WTO. We are deleting a previous tweet which omitted her name and previous title. Yeah, and rightfully so. As I said, it's demeaning, the title they chose, like no nonsense woman, when she has a name, she has a title, she's, for God's sake, the new World Trade Organization head. Like, put some respect on her name. Like, what? I am so happy with my fellow Africans and Black people for dragging them so much they had to come up and apologize and put in a correction. That's how we're supposed to do it. That's why we should not let them. And there was one headline, but it was in a different language, so somebody had to translate it. I saw on Twitter. Their headlines ran, it's somewhere in Europe, a grandmother won the WTO, and we're like, oh, what does that have to do? Yes, she can be a grandmother, she can be a mother, she can be a wife. Yes, she can be all those things. But right now, we're saying she's a leader of this big organization right now. So what's the relation there. When you're saying a grandmother won, a grandmother is now the WTO leader, what do you mean by that? Like, what does that have to do with anything? You say Dr. Ngozi, you put her name, Dr. Ngozi, her full name, and say now is the new leader. Or you can even say former finance minister, or former, like, she has so many accomplishments. That's the reason she's capable. That's why they're putting her in that position. So when you just belittle what she has done so far and just reduce her to one thing and say a no-nonsense woman is now the WTO leader, a grandmother is now what does that have to do with anything? Yes, she's a grandma and good. I'm sure she's a good grandma and her grandchildren love her, and that's great. But if it was somebody else, let's be honest, if it was somebody else, a man, let's say a white man, that accomplished so much in his life and now he's the leader of WTO, you think they would say the same thing? A grandfather is now WTO's leader. Really? I am willing to bet they will not say that. So why do that to this woman? Why in the world would you run a story like that? I just don't understand. The only thing my mind can come up with is you just want to minimize what she was able to accomplish and say, another, like, I don't see why. I really, the same, if you remember the same thing that happened to Kamala Harris when they were putting her on Vogue, they put a sneaker on her and they're like, we want her to be relatable. Oh really? How come you didn't do that to Melania or somebody she was even the wife, so she's not even the vice president. But anyways, you get my point. Why would you want to start relatable when it comes to Kamala Harris being the vice president? That's the question. Like her or hate her, don't agree with her or agree with her, we're talking about that specific thing they did. As Vogue magazine, this professional magazine that they are known for their luxury and their brand, and everybody's like, wow, if you're on Vogue, that's it, you made it. The people that are on the covers get the best lighting, best dressing and all that, and Kamala Harris just needed to be relatable with her pearls and awkward laugh and sneaker. It was not a sneaker, it was Converse, I think, right? So that's what they decided to do. Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala now is the new WTO leader, and you have to accept it. That's the reality that you're living in. A black woman from Nigeria is now the leader. Accept that, internalize it, and let's celebrate her. That's all I have to say about this. Do let us know down below what your thoughts are about Reuters running this story and this one magazine. I forgot what the name of that newspaper is. It's somewhere in Europe. It's written in a different language. Somebody translated, as I told you, they were saying, this grandmother this grandmother is our new WTO. So what do you think about it? Do let us know down below. I am Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. I'm bringing you this report. I will see you on the next one.